Greetings and salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today we're going to be reading one-star reviews on some of my favorite books. I'm not prepared for this video. I feel like I'm gonna get offended, but let's do it. Okay, so I actually was not planning on filming today. I was feeling a little cranky, I'm not gonna lie. But then I was watching Crystal's Vlogmas videos and she did this video, so full credit to Crystal. She totally gave me this idea, totally inspired me to get my butt out of bed, put on some makeup, and film this video. So thank you for that, Crystal. I will leave her link down below. Her channel name, I believe, is Crystal's Bookish Life. Pretty much posting a video every day for Vlogmas, and she's much more consistent and wonderful than I am. So go follow her. To be honest, I always scroll through Goodreads reviews. For some reason, I just love reading reviews on Amazon, on Goodreads, on thrift books. Like I love hearing what people think about books, even if their opinions are really different than mine. I actually like to go on Goodreads and look at books that I didn't like. Maybe I give them 1 or 2 stars, and I will search for like 5-star reviews for those books because I kind of want to know like if I was missing something or why someone else liked the book. So if you guys want to see like a reverse where I read 5-star reviews for books that I gave a low rating to, I would totally be happy to do that. But today it's all about the 1-star reviews, okay? So all right, I forgot to charge my camera. Like I said, this wasn't a planned video, so we are going to use my sister's phone for this. I'm really nervous because I just feel like there are going to be some reviews that are just trashing romance just for the sake of trashing romance. And I don't vibe with that. I don't like that. I don't like when people call romance trash or cheesy, or they're just generally rude about an entire genre and the people who read it. I don't like that stuff. So if we come across those types of reviews, we might just have to skip them. So curious to see if there's any low ratings for it. It is Indigo by Beverly Jenkins. Now, I have fantastic taste in books, so if you don't like these books, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, this book is technically perfect. The writing is flawless. The characters are absolutely just divine. The characters are so fleshed out. The history is so well researched. You can absolutely tell that Beverly Jenkins is such a phenomenal writer who really has mastered her craft. And the romance in this book, okay, this is not like me recommending the books. This is me reading about low ratings. I told you guys, I have excellent taste in books, and this has a 4.4 average rating on Goodreads. That's pretty freaking high. Okay, I see some of my friends have read this. Lacey gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Obviously, I knew I liked her for a reason. Let's go to the 1 stars. Oh, I'm already offended. I am already offended. This girl went off. She gave it a 1-star rating. I don't curse on my channel, but baby girl cursed in her review. It says, unfortunately, after the letters, because there's letters in the beginning of the book, the writing of this novel becomes strange and stilted. Wrong. I'm sorry. People are entitled to their reviews. I'm honestly just having fun with this video. What I love about the booktube community is everyone is entitled to their opinions. Everyone likes something different. There are tropes that some people love, that other people don't like, and it's all good. Like, I truly am not offended if you don't like a book that I love, but I'm just messing around with this video. In her review, she wrote a lengthy review, but she didn't finish the book, so I don't like this review, y'all. So let me read a snippet. While the writing of the novel itself is stilted and strange, I disagree. I think Beverly Jenkins is a master of her class. She needs to like teach a master class because her writing is captivating and beautiful. I would describe her writing like as a poem. Like, her writing is very poetic, and it's just, I could write songs about her books. Okay, so there's that. Back to the review. This one says, the real thing that bothered me was the subtle, pervasive misogyny of all of Hester's interactions with Galen. There's a moment where Galen thinks to himself that Hester should be married and having babies, not working on the Underground Railroad. Okay, you can absolutely tell that this person did not finish the book. We're gonna stop there. Galen, or the Black Daniel, that is his moniker, is so supportive of Hester. Hester is a huge role in the Underground Railroad, and she actually risks her life numerous times in the book just to save her friend or people she grew up with, saving people in her town and freeing enslaved Black women and men and children. And Galen is so so supportive of that. I don't want to put any spoilers in this video, so I'm trying not to like tell main plot points, but in this book, our main character Hester does something so selfless, and she sacrifices herself to save someone in her town. Galen not once tells her to stop or to do something else, and is so supportive and is like, I understand why you did what you did. I'm here to help you in any way. So this person didn't read the book, okay? This person says this book is a combination of racism and sexism. No, baby. I really don't think they finished this book. They call Galen creepy? He is not creepy. Oh my god. So they're basically saying that Galen is creepy because... Oh my god. Like, what? So... They said several times that they didn't finish reading the book, and I really feel like if they finished reading the book, they would have seen the character development that Galen had. So how Hester really was empowered more throughout the video in her, not only in her sexuality, but her part in the Underground Railroad and saving people. And I really think they needed to finish the book. Okay. Whew. That was a rough one. Next person gave it a 1 out of 5 stars, and this was recent. It was September of 2020. They say, this feels like a Regency Harley Quinn novel. What's wrong with Regency Harley Quinn novels? Nothing. I'm raving, it's a historical setting, but I keep wondering, even if it's set in the North, isn't Hester a little too free with her actions? What? Okay, we're not reading that mess. I'm not going to be reading, no, we are not going here in this video. We're not going here in this video. This person is basically like questioning the realistic setting of the book. And you know what? Miss me with that. Miss me with that. It is insane how much research Beverly Jenkins does for her novels. And like at the end of the day, romance is an escapism read. Readers have the ability to take creative liberties if they so choose, and I actually think this book is full of wonderful history tidbits, and it is obvious that she went through a lot more research than a lot of other authors do, so we're not, miss me with that. No. So this person says that they don't like how innocent Hester was at the beginning. See, that's what doesn't make sense. I just read a review on someone saying that it wasn't historically accurate enough, and then this person wants Hester to be like a sexual vixen. Historical times, she would not have been with another man before Galen. And also, she was kind of busy saving lives. I think it's okay that she was a little unexperienced. That's very realistic for a woman in the historical setting. Okay, we are moving on to the next book. But in general, a lot of people like that book, which I agree with. Okay, the next one is another one that is going to hurt me dearly. It is Again the Magic by Lisa Kleypas. This is the prequel to the Wallflower series. It is a second chance romance, very angsty, and I love it. It is one of my favorite books of all time. I have recommended it endless times. So let's see what people think. Breaks my heart, but let's read some 1 stars. Let's see this one. This one was 3 years ago. So let's see. She says, I kept waiting for something reasonable to happen. It didn't. What was unreasonable about this book? There was nothing unreasonable about this book. It's 2 love stories. One of our characters comes from like a very high class family, and her father is a tyrant and wants her to marry up, so marry like a guy with a title, and she ends up falling in love with a stable boy, and there's a lot of consequences to that because they are from very different classes. And I mean, I feel like that's actually really realistic. That's what would have happened in that time frame, but it's everyone's entitled to their opinion. So let's see what else she says. Reading because the basic premise of a love across classes is something that interests me. We talked about that. Unfortunately, this book was that premise, but executed by someone who does not understand class, difference, conflict, or anything. It's a little harsh. Seriously, you have a stable boy and the daughter of an earl who are in love with one another. If you are sane and know anything at all about history, you could probably imagine the inherent conflict and drama in this situation. There was so much drama and angst. Are you kidding me? There was so much drama. When her father found out that she was in love with the stable boy, there were huge consequences to that. What? There were so much consequences. Okay, fine. This part says, McKenna goes to America where he becomes very rich. Somehow he also turns stupid and evil in the process. Yes, that, my friends, is our hero's character arc. Because he spends his time in America brooding over being treated so shabbily by Eileen, yes, he blames her for being the daughter of an earl and not being able to go off with the penniless stable boy. He blames her because she broke his heart. Like, obviously, he's going to feel some type of way. And because he's a stable boy and she broke his heart, he is, like, determined to prove her wrong and determined to be successful. And I feel like that is all very human reactions, human emotions, very realistic. So, all right, then. This says, I realize this sort of reading isn't supposed to be intellectual or anything. What? I knew we were going to get a comment like this. Oh, gosh. If you mean to write a story where a stable boy Earl's daughter isn't really that big of a deal, then bloody write that novel about the present times or about the future, not historical England. Are you kidding me? I feel like this book is really realistic. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If that's how you feel, fine. Don't like that a lot of people are harping about historical romances being inaccurate, because here's the thing. Romance for me is an escapism read. So I am reading books for enjoyment. And I feel like everyone should read books for enjoyment. You're sitting there dissecting a book that you don't have to write an essay on, like a required reading type of book. Is that fun for you? Like, are you really that deep that you're going to go search historical romance, like historically accurate facts, and compare it to the writing? Is that fun for you? No, it's not fun. That's not fun for me. I'm going to harp on about a book being historically accurate or being real, because it's not real. It's a story, okay? It's a story that is supposed to have a happily ever after, and I am just there for the glorious ride. The other thing is, when a book is written, like, historically accurate, people complain too. So, like, everyone always complains that they're tired of reading about these virginal, shy heroines, but that is exactly how they were during that time. They were only given, like, the birds and the bees talk the day before they were married. And divorce was not a thing that whatever husband they were stuck with, they were stuck with. I really think that people will complain about romance in general, whether it's accurate or not accurate. So, yeah, okay. I don't like disagreeing with people or talking about controversial things. It makes me sweat. I'm wearing a sweater right now and I'm literally sweating because these comments are just making me anxious. But yeah, I don't agree. I don't agree with them. What is going on with my hair? I don't know. Oh my god. People are mean. Oh gosh. All right, I am going to spoil the book a little bit with this one. She says, I so enjoyed the Hathaway series. Me too, babe. I love that series. It says, what do our heroes and heroines face then? Cultural divides, war, personality clashes, legit hating each other, morbid past, quirkiness, mental health issues, illness, legit bleep. I try not to curse on my channel. This person said the book is horrible. The author has almost no context of history. Oh my god. The plot is unrealistic and the characters unlikable. All right. Well, all of these people are clearly history majors who can write better historical romance than Lisa Kleypas and Beverly Jenkins. No, better yet, they were there during the Regency time. They know what is historically accurate. People really do get upset that some things aren't historically accurate. But what do you want a writer to do? I mean, you can only tell the same story so many times. Like, they have to get somewhat creative. Let's take a break from historical romance. Let's read reviews for Strange Grace by Tessa Gratton. I would consider this book fantasy, but it does have a romance. It has a beautiful polyamorous relationship that I just adore. So let's read it. It has a 3.56 rating on Goodreads. Riley gave it a 5 stars. I mean, she has excellent taste in books, obviously. Oh wow, this person got it an arc and gave it a 1 star. Props to you for being honest. That's great. That is fantastic. She said, well, I was desperately waiting for something interesting to happen. Towards the 300-page mark, I realized it wasn't going to happen in this book, and so I made the sensible decision to give it up and move on to something else. That's all for tonight. Thank you. You know what? I'm not even mad at that review because I'm not mad at it. If you're not liking a book, DNF it and move on. Like, that book isn't for you. It's fine. I don't agree that there wasn't anything interesting happening. This book was like packed with so much world building. I had to read this book twice to fully grasp like all of the world building in it, and it is in the point of view of 3 different main characters, and it is just so complex and so beautifully written. So I don't agree with someone saying that it wasn't interesting. If you don't feel like it's interesting, maybe listen to the audiobook, because I think that the narrator did a fantastic job with this book. So yeah. All right, let's see what this person says. They gave it a 1-star rating. She said, I really wanted to like it. Devils, witches, and a poly trio. Yeah, sounds great, right? And I wanted it to be good, but it wasn't. The pace was slow. The story was confusing. It was frustrating to read because I never really knew what was going on. Yeah. The pacing is very slow because there's so much world building that the author gives you. And I feel like you have to truly understand our characters to truly understand the world that they live in. And it was confusing. Like I said, I read the book twice to fully understand what was going on. The thing is that the town like makes a bargain with a devil to make their town prosperous. And it's a little confusing how that all unravels and how it started in the beginning. So I will agree that the book is kind of confusing. Right, so the next person said, OMG, the worst book I've read this year. Why did I give this person an accent? I don't know. So I think what a lot of people are saying is that it is a slow-paced book, and I would agree with you there. Very character-driven, very slow-paced, so if that's not your vibe, maybe you wouldn't like this book. So you know what? These reviews are valid. I mean, all reviews are valid. But I feel like these people, I can see why they didn't like the book. The reviews I read about the historical romances, I really feel like people were trashing romance just for the sake of trashing romance. Okay, anyways. Okay, so let's go to another contemporary romance. This is kind of like a rom-com. This is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. This book took me out of a deep book slump. It makes me incredibly happy. Josh, our main character, is a cinnamon roll. Let's see some 1-star ratings. Oh, by the way, this has an average rating of 3.73. This person says, it wasn't bad, but they didn't like it at all. Plot and characters were very generic. Nothing stuck out to grab their attention. By some reason, I didn't like both main characters. Sometimes I found them even annoying. I like this book. It just wasn't for me, but I see why a lot of people like it. Valid. The person just didn't vibe with the main characters, which is, I mean, fine. Our heroine is very quirky. A lot of people kind of don't like that, but anyways. Someone said that they DNF'd the book because it had a ridiculous plot and annoying heroine. Enough said. Yeah, okay, so a lot of these reviews are basically saying they don't like Hazel. Hazel's very quirky. I can totally see how she's not everyone's cup of tea, but I adored her. Okay. A lot of people don't like the main character. I mean, that's fair. If you don't like a main character, it's very hard to get into the book. I'm the exact same way. I feel like in romance in particular, you have to connect with the characters. If you don't jive with them, it does ruin the whole book. I liked Hazel. But you know what? I had a feeling a lot of people were going to say, like, okay, let's look up Wolfsong. I was putting this bad boy off because this book makes me emotional. It made me cry. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. And I can't imagine people not liking this book. The person says, this is the most unpopular opinion I've had in a hot second. Welcome to it. All right. It says, she initially picked this book up because the 3rd book in the series features a couple with an ace character. It does. It is Carter's relationship. That they want to read that book so bad, but after reading this, they doubt they'll ever make it there because, whoa boy, this was very much not for them. And trust me, I am truly wavering on what to rate this because I usually reserve 1 stars for books that have no redeeming qualities, but that's not the case with this one. I'm the same. I only give books like 1 star if they're offensive, if that makes sense. Like, they did something that really pissed me off. If I didn't like a book, generally I tend to give it like 2 or 3 stars. So a 1-star rating is very harsh, or at least I feel like it is. It says it's got big found family excellence. It does. Yeah, it does. There's a strong sense of setting, and I can totally see how people can get attached to these characters. Oh, this person read the Nora Sokoviak book, the All for the Game series. That is a good series. It's a little problematic. There's a ton of trigger warnings. So I guess they kind of, I mean, those books are not similar whatsoever. They both are male-male romances, and they have the found family trope, but like that's where the similarities end. It says, however, the story is primarily a romance. Yeah, it is. And the entire relationship that developed between Ox and Joe made me wildly uncomfy. Oh, the age gap, yeah. the age gap. So they're 6 years apart. It didn't make me uncomfortable. I mean, I did talk about that in my review. When they meet, their relationship is truly a friendship, and it doesn't become a romantic relationship until they're both legal, until they're both at an acceptable age. It's actually a huge separation where they spend years apart and they both grow into adults and into their own people, and then they come back and they find love with each other. So no, the age gap didn't bother me, but I can see how some people would be bothered by that. This person says, to be fair, they've never loved romances where there is a substantial imbalance of power, age, status, occupation, etc. That's totally fair. I mean, if you don't like an age gap, that's fair. This person says, originally I wasn't going to give Wolfsong a star rating, but this was honestly one of the worst books I've ever read, and I need people to know that. No explanation why. Fine. This person says they hated the writing. There was too much repetition, too much sing-song, too much green. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of repetition in this book because you hear the main character's inner thoughts as well as their wolves' inner thoughts. And what's really magical about this book is that the wolves kind of see things through colors, so they can sense sadness and happiness and strong emotions based on colors. A lot of the times there is some repetition in that, but I actually thought it was really beautiful. I think it's because it's the first book in the series. Our main character is just learning about werewolves and like magic and all of this crazy stuff, so I feel like they have to process. And although that might seem repetitive, it's realistic. Like, I feel like his response was realistic. He was processing and grieving. Yeah, anyways. Right, that was very interesting. I feel like I have been sitting here for a really long time. I don't want to even know how long I've been filming. This is going to take forever to edit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me reading some 1-star ratings of my favorite books. This is all in good fun. So the great thing about BookTube is the vast opinions on BookTube. There are so many people who create content, and you honestly can find someone who fits your niche, like who likes the same books that you like, who likes the same tropes as you like. So everyone is entitled to your opinions, and I think Goodreads is a great way to kind of like see what is worth reading, like if you read other people's reviews. I think the only time I really got frustrated is when people were trashing romance, because I'm just super tired of hearing about that. Like, don't judge an entire genre based on one book that you've read. That's just my opinion though. If you guys want to see the reverse of this, of me reading high ratings for books that I rated low, I would love to do that. Let me know. And until then, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me, and I will see you next time.